Remember that bridge jump in Mission Impossible 3, where Tom Cruise nearly launched himself into space? The Triumph Scrambler motorcycle exploded mid-air, sending shrapnel everywhere, and Cruise just walked away grinning. Well, in today's video, we're dissecting every deadly bike he's ever ridden and owned. Let's go! To kick things off, let's start with the Triumph Speed Triple, the bike that turned Ethan Hunt into a two-wheeled tornado, and almost killed Tom Cruise in the process. The year is 2000, and the mission, well, is to make audiences' jaws drop through the floor. Tom Cruise didn't just deliver, he brought a British muscle machine to the party that rewrote the rules of insane. Let's get one thing straight. This wasn't some Hollywood prop. This was a 955 cubic centimeter, fire-breathing asphalt slayer with 110 horsepower and a screw-your-safety attitude. Twin headlights glaring like the devil's eyes? A frame stripped down to bare metal. This bike wasn't just cool. It was Ethan Hunt's Psycho X on wheels. Before we go on, please give us a like and hit the subscribe button. Also comment on the celebrity's garage you want us to do next. Now here's the stinger. Did you know Tom Cruise refused a stunt double for this? Dude was out there, rocketing through hairpin turns at 100 miles an hour, knees scraping concrete, while director John Woo screamed into a walkie-talkie, "Tom, you're insane!" And why? Because the Speed Triple wasn't just fast, it was unhinged. A 416-pound missile with a 6-speed gearbox that laughed at gravity. Cruise later said riding it felt like cheating death. And honestly, we believe him. Now let's rewind. The Triumph company dropped this beast in '94, and it was like the James Dean of motorcycles. Raw, rebellious, and dripping with British swagger. By 2000, it was already a cult legend. But after Mission Impossible 2, boom. Every gearhead on planet Earth wanted one. Dealers sold out, websites crashed, and Tom? He kept the bike. Of course he did, because when you survive a motorcycle duel with a helicopter, you keep the trophy. Now here's the wildest part. That chase scene? 100% real. No green screens. No CGI bikes. Just Tom, the Triumph, and a director praying his insurance would cover it. And guess what? The Speed Triple thrived like crazy. 0 breakdowns. Rumor has it, the bike's still out there, waiting for its next mission. So next time you watch Mission Impossible 2, remember, you're not just seeing Ethan Hunt outrun the apocalypse. You're watching a man and his machine dance on the edge of oblivion. And folks, that's not acting. That's Tom Cruise being Tom Cruise. All right, gearheads, let's talk about the BMW S1000RR, the one bike that turned Mission Impossible, Rogue Nation into a love letter to insanity. Now let's break down this German-engineered beast. The S1000RR is a 999cc missile with a heart of pure rage. Picture this, 199 horsepower screaming out of an inline-4 engine. To put that in perspective, that's more power than a 2023 Ford Mustang GT. 0 to 60 in 2.4 seconds? That's not acceleration. That's a teleportation spell from Harry Potter. BMW built the S1000RR to humiliate other superbikes, and it worked. Dual brake discs the size of dinner plates? Check. A 6-speed gearbox sharper than Ethan Hunt's jawline? Double check. But here's the wild part. While most movie props get babied, this bike did every single stunt. Sliding under trucks? That's check. Dust storms? Check. Tom Cruise's infamous "I'll do it myself" attitude? Big check. Rumor has it, the only thing that needed a break during filming was the crew's nerves. In 2015, this Bavarian beast cost just $16,995. For less than a used Corolla, you could own a machine that outruns most supercars. It's like BMW said, "Here's a spaceship, enjoy your commute." Cruise trained for months to master the S1000RR. Why? Because he's Tom freaking Cruise. The man treats impossible like a grocery list. Directors begged him to use CGI for the 90-foot ramp jump. His response? Nah, let's just do it. Well, spoiler, he did it 12 times. When you first see Tom Cruise speeding across the barren wastelands of oblivion on that sleek motorcycle, you might think it's pure Hollywood magic. But here's the twist. That bike wasn't just cooked up in a computer. Beneath its sci-fi exterior is a real-world beast, the Honda CRF 450X. Now, the CRF isn't some garage ornament. This machine packs a 449 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled engine, cranking out 44.8 horsepower and 31.7 pound-feet of torque. Translation: it's a rugged, no-nonsense workhorse designed to tackle everything from rocky trails to desert dunes. With a 6-speed transmission, 13 inches of ground clearance, and a seat height just shy of 38 inches, it's practically begging to be thrown into the wild. But how did it end up looking like it teleported from the year 2077? Enter Glory Motor Works, the team tasked with transforming the CRF into a post-apocalyptic icon. They stripped it down, armored it up, added those glowing neon accents, but kept the core engine and the frame. So while the bike's soul was pure Honda, its aesthetic was like something you could steal from a Blade Runner prop warehouse. Of course Tom kept the bike. The man treats stunt doubles like a personal insult. Cruise reportedly crashed it during filming, and then got right back on. No surprise, this is the human being who's been doing 100 miles per hour motorcycle jumps since Top Gun was in VHS players. Honda's been dominating off-road races with this thing since 2005. It won Baja 1000s, survived desert infernos, and outlasted riders who thought hydration was optional. When you need a bike that looks apocalyptic but won't become apocalyptic mid-scene, you go CRF 450X. No debate. Limos, sports cars? Nah. When Tom Cruise rolled up to the Mission Impossible 3 premiere, he brought the Confederate Hellcat, a 2,163 cubic centimeter V-twin nightmare forged in the fires of pure chaos. Let's break down why this bike is the antichrist of horsepower. 121 ponies. Cute. But 140 pound-feet of torque? That's enough to yank a tree stump out of the earth. And it's all wrapped in aircraft aluminum so sleek, it weighs less than Tom's ego after an Oscar snub. Studio execs had a full-blown panic attack when Cruise demanded to ride the Hellcat to the premiere. Why? Only 65 were ever made. Each one cost more than a private island made of jet fuel. This bike wasn't for sale, it was for survivors. Brad Pitt owns one. David Beckham owns one. Confederate Motors didn't build bikes, they built middle fingers on wheels. They named it Hellcat after a World War II fighter plane. But let's be real, this thing looks like it escaped a Mad Max audition. Sharp edges? Check. Raw, exposed metal? Check. What makes the Hellcat legendary isn't the specs, it's the audacity. In a world of cookie-cutter bikes, this was a hand-built rebellion, a screw you to normalcy. And for Tom Cruise, a guy who jumps off skyscrapers for fun, it's the perfect match. When Tom Cruise turned 46, he didn't ask for a gold watch or some sports car. He got a Ducati 999R. This bike isn't for mortals. It's for guys who laugh at danger and high-five gravity on the way down. Let's talk numbers. 999 cubic centimeters of pure testosterone fury. 139 horsepower. 174 miles an hour top speed. And that trellis frame? It's not just lightweight carbon fiber. It's a death-defying work of art. Ducati built this bike to dominate racetracks. Here's the kicker. The 999R isn't just fast, it's stupid rare. Only true gearheads know its cult status. Today, if you want one, prepare to sell a kidney. Pristine models go for $40,000 to $60,000, more than some Ferraris cost in 2006. But for Cruise, pocket change. Because the 999R isn't some garage queen, it's a precision missile. 6 gears, razor-sharp handling, a throttle that'll either make you feel like a god or send you straight to the ER. And Cruise, he's the guy who'd probably crash, then ask for a second take. So next time you see Tom Cruise risking his life for your entertainment, remember, the guy doesn't do casual. Even his birthday gifts could kill you. In 2005, Tom traded explosions for something deadlier, a Triumph Thruxton 900. This is a 1960s time capsule with a death wish, and believe me, It's been trying to kill Tom ever since. Let's rewind, 1969. Triumph dominates the Thruxton 500, a race so savage it turned steel into scrap and men into myths. Fast forward 36 years. Cruise revives the legend, the Thruxton 900. Here's why it's Tom's sleeper hit: 68 horsepower, 7,400 RPM screams, a 5-speed gearbox that slices asphalt, and those brakes? Twin discs, 320mm up front, because stopping is for people who don't do their own stunts. Price today? $6,000 to $10,000. Yep, you heard that right. For less than a used Honda Civic, you can own the same bike Cruise uses to outrun his own legacy. But don't be fooled. This isn't a garage princess. The Thruxton 900 weighs 507 pounds, heavy enough to feel like history, light enough to drag a knee on a dime. Tom's been spotted shredding back roads and studio lots on this thing, because why drive a Bugatti when you can ride a Mood? Owners call it bulletproof. Just oil, gas, and the occasional prayer. But Cruise, he doesn't pray, he pushes. Rumor has it, he's tweaked his Thruxton to handle like a track weapon and maybe to jump off skyscrapers. To think about it, Tom Cruise's warm-up is a joyride on a 60-year-old legend. If there's one thing Tom Cruise and Mission Impossible do better than anyone, it's making motorcycles look ridiculously cool. Remember that heart-pounding chase through Paris in Fallout? The bike he's dodging traffic on and popping wheelies with? Yeah, that's his 9T Scrambler. Introduced in 2016, the 9T Scrambler is the craziest mix of vintage style and modern muscle. Underneath that retro Scrambler shell lies a beastly 1,170 cubic centimeter air and oil-cooled boxer engine that gives out 110 horsepower and 86 pound-feet of torque. It will hit speeds of up to 135 miles an hour, perfect for outrunning helicopters, rogue agents, or just your average Monday commute. And with a butter-smooth 6-speed transmission, shifting gears feels like flipping through the pages of a well-written action script. Weighing in at 485 pounds, it's not exactly a featherweight, but that steel tubular frame and rugged suspension, telescopic forks up front, paralever in the rear, give it the stability to handle cobblestone chaos or desert dirt roads. Need to stop on a dime? Dual 320mm brake discs up front and a 265mm disc at the rear have your back. But let's talk about the looks. High-mounted exhaust pipes, minimalist bodywork, and that wild Scrambler vibe make it a head-turner. During filming once, Cruise actually took a spill on this thing. Walked away fine, of course. The bike? Barely a scratch. Proof that both man and machine are built tough. Practical perks? It sips fuel at around 45 miles per gallon, and with proper care, it'll clock over 50,000 miles. Prices hover between $12,000 and $15,000 for a clean used model, but let's be real. You're buying a bike with a side dish of Tom Cruise madness. And finally, Tom Cruise's Bonneville Scrambler. Only 5 of these were built, and trust me, this isn't your grandpa's Scrambler. The stock Bonneville is a retro icon. 865 cubic centimeters of air-cooled thunder, high pipes, and a vibe that screams 1960s dirt rebellion. But Cruise's version? Triumph engineers turned it into a Hollywood gladiator. Reinforced frame to handle jumps that'd snap normal bikes in half. Upgraded suspension that absorbed impact like a WWE wrestler. Knobby tires that chewed through mud, asphalt, and probably a few stunt coordinators' sanity. Under the hood, it's a torque monster. That parallel twin engine didn't just accelerate, it yeeted Cruise out of disaster zones. 5 gears, more like 5 escape routes. And that signature growl? It wasn't dubbed in the post. That's the sound of pure mechanical rage, recorded live as Cruise pushed the bike harder than a Netflix algorithm. But here's the kicker. This Scrambler wasn't coddled, it was abused. During filming, it survived jumps, crashes, and enough dirt to fill a sandbox. No breakdowns. Today, these custom Scramblers are unicorns. If you find one, expect to pay $50,000 to $80,000, or roughly the cost of a small house in 2006. When you watch Mission Impossible 3, remember? That bridge scene, the dirt chase. That's not CGI. That's Tom Cruise and a Triumph Scrambler rewriting the rules of action. Some bikes collect miles. This one collected scars. Still alive? Smash like, hit subscribe, and comment. Which celeb garage we should check next? Ferraris? Bikes? Throttle up! See you in the next one.